Hang on, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Just trying to fit myself. There we go. Move this out of the way, turn it off. Okay. So I have some other stuff here. I can't sit there. I have some stuff down there, so I can't sit there. Wilson's right at my feet behind me. So, okay, so like I said, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me today. So, the reason I'm doing this video is because my last video, I put up some silver handles. And they just didn't sit right with me. They didn't fit. And if I don't like something, there's not a lot that you can do to change if I like it or not. And I talked about some wood trim being put in there. I still will probably put the wood trim in there, but I'm going to take the handles out of there. The two on the door and the top handle. And I'm going to replace it with something that'll better incorporate with what I've already got back there. Those silver handles don't look right there. So that is basically the only change that I'm going to be doing to the van. Going backwards. But the other parts of the video that I've put in here, I've added some blueprints. So it's going to give you a better idea, because I tried to explain it and it's really hard. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. Especially when you're looking at something and you're trying to visualize what the other person is trying to say to you. Sometimes it doesn't work for some people, and I'm not really the best at like explaining stuff like that too well. So I figured I'd do have some blueprints. So I did that. Now, you guys are going to be bombarded with a lot of videos, because I have this co-pilot seat to lift up a bit and frame out. And then the bottom metal piece that the chair sat on is open at the top, so it has a big storage space there, and same with the floor. So I've got to organize stuff and get it put properly where it belongs. That goes with the storage space I have under my bed as well, and those two cupboards, because I just built them out. I'm able to put in everything. There's like a bag that is coming up in the clip, I think. I'm not sure if I chopped it out or not, but there's a bag that's got sweaters and stuff in it that I'm going to be putting underneath in one of my cupboards, because it fits perfect, and it's a great place to put my dirty laundry. And then all the sweaters and hats can go in this bureau here, along with my hoodies and my bulkier stuff. So I've got this chair plus organizing to do. Like I said, it in the back as well. And then I've got this bureau to frame out and finish, and shelf and wallpaper. And then I have my stove to put in, and a ladder to put up, and two pieces on the back door to do as well. So that's all going to take time. The biggest part, I think, will be moving. I have a small storage unit that has like garage stuff and stuff in it. And then I have a bigger storage unit that has a lot of stuff that I still need to go through and organize and get rid of and donate. And then the stuff that I'm able to keep, I'll be able to sort through and bring it out here. But I have to get the van done in order to go through and bring in what belongs in the van. And then now that I have a camper, I'm going to have to set aside the stuff that can go into the camper that I can keep. So I still have to keep the bigger storage unit. The smaller one I'm going to bring out here and get rid of the stuff that I don't want in the smaller storage unit, because there still is some stuff left behind. So I have that to do. I have like 2 weeks before I go back to work. We have street sweeping. It's a week's long. It's like 11 to 12 hour shifts and night shifts. So that'll be like a week and a couple of days before I'm able to even regain any kind of comprehensive thinking pattern to be able to work on the build. With this weather, it's not cooperating, so I have maybe 2 weeks before I get into street sweeping and then start up my construction job. I'm not sure. It depends on how the season starts off, if it'll be a slow start to the season or if it'll be both feet in and going hard. I'm not really sure, but hopefully I'll have a couple of Saturdays before we really start winding up to be able to work on the camper. And I have a garden to put in, and I have, because this area that we're parking in hasn't been used very much, I have a lot of raking and cleaning up around to do. And then last night at 5:30, which never ever happens, I saw 2 coyotes outside the van, and I had just brought Wilson in. And I don't know if that's why I saw them, because I had just brought him in, but they're not normally around until it's dusk. It's like the kind of like a route that they take and go through. But they were here at 5:30, so I'm like, I don't want to have to go out and break up a fight with a pack of coyotes on top of my dog. I'd worry about Wilson. There's quite a few of them. I think there's like 2 packs, but I'm not sure how they travel. I know there was only 2 last night, so it was concerning. So I know there's some cattle gates or guards and stuff around, fencing, whatever. And I'm going to grab some of those and make an enclosure. So the only way that they'd be able to get in is from the front way. Because if I'm busy building or cooking or whatever, and I'm going to build an outdoor shower, but whenever, I don't want Wilson getting in trouble with those coyotes. So that's another thing I have to do. So I have lots to do, because I have, you know what it's like to organize stuff. That seems to be the longest or the most time-consuming thing that people can do. So this van build has to get done. So there's going to be lots of videos coming up. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I hope it makes a little bit more sense with me going through and showing you the blueprints and showing you in the camper where everything and how it's all going to be set up. And then I made some blueprints for this bureau and the stove and my new idea, and what I'm going to be doing with the back hardware that's got to be replaced back there. So thanks for joining me today. Hope everyone, like I said, is doing well. It's almost spring. Summer's almost here, so stay positive. Be grateful. Okay, we'll see you soon. Hey, let's go take a look. What I wanted to show you. It's my van is really dirty and it's really mucky out. Put a little mat down there just to kind of try to help from tracking the mud in, especially with Wilson. It's not really working all that much. He kind of just, with this weather, he's really enjoying it. It's not too cold. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I wanted to show you, I cleaned up a bit. So I have a lot of stuff in here, as you can see. It's kind of filling up now. This here fits perfectly in one of my cabinets, my little cupboards, white ones that I just did. So once I can take all those sweaters and hats out of there and put them in the bureau, I'm going to have that in that cupboard for my dirty clothes. Okay, so all this stuff here could actually go underneath, like I mentioned, but it's basically this space is being utilized while I build out my van. Now, before I built out my van, or had this camper and was out at the farm, thank goodness I had a place to park where I could tie Wilson up. But I was running back and forth to my storage unit to access all my building materials. Now all this stuff will be sorted out and organized and put in its place once the build is done. And I can organize my tools and all the stuff that I have underneath my bed frame. That's a whole big storage area, so everything will kind of get put where it needs to go, and then go down in size as it goes where it's supposed to go, right? Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. This whole cupboard's coming out. The furnace is going to be left in, but the width of this area where the cupboard is going to be about 2.5 feet long, and it's going to go into a cupboard that's going to run down this way. So this piece here will be like 2.5 feet, and then I'm thinking that that cupboard there is going to be like 3 feet long. Now the width along here will be like 1.5 feet. It depends. Or 1.6 I should say, so 1.5 feet wide. The cupboard that's going to go along there will be 1.5 feet wide. Then I have an antique cabinet that's going to go there. That's not sure how long it is. I think it's like 3 feet. And then I'll do the same on this side with a cupboard that comes down this way. And it'll be also, I think it's like 3 feet long that I've got for space. And then this sink will go on top of there. This bed will stay where it is. Like, I'm going to redo everything, but this whole lounging area is going to be 6 long, 3 feet wide, I think. There's a shelf back there. I want to reincorporate that shelf back there. I'll reincorporate that cupboard up there as well. If I do use that actual piece, it will be repainted. Same with that one there. I'll put that back up there and repaint it as well. Or open it up and have an open shelf up there. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. I've got some blueprints that I'll show you. So now this whole area here is going to be a closed-in area. It's going to be 4 feet long, so it'll go, I think that is actually 4 feet right there. And it'll go from the floor to the ceiling. Right beside the fridge where that cupboard is. I'm going to probably from, I don't know, it will be pretty close. There'll probably be only a little bit of a wall there. And then the rest of it's going to be an open door with a curtain on it. I'm going to have a raised floor. So it'll come up to about probably there on the fridge, the floor. So underneath the whole floor, I'll have storage space. So from this point up to here, will be like, it'll go all the way in. This stovetop's coming out. And then from this point on up to about here, minus the lift on the floor. So it won't be this high. It'll probably work out to be about, as high as this fridge, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. It might be too high. I'm not sure. I might have to, if I raise the floor more, it's going to take away from my ceiling, the height that I'll have inside there. So I don't know how to figure it out, but on top of here I was going to build, I would need about this much area to build like a toilet seat that runs along here. I'll explain that in the blueprint too. That cupboard will come out, and that'll be like a bathroom, so it'll be a little room. I will reincorporate like a shelf in here, and then this will all be a wall, so I'll be able to make a bookcase there. But I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. This whole area here will be like a horseshoe kitchen. And if I only have 1.5 feet here, I know this is almost 2 feet. I think it's like 1 by 10 or something. That'll give like a whole bunch more room on the floor for Wilson. And that tabletop won't be there. So he'll have tons of room in here. Plus he'll have a 3 foot by 6 foot bed. Okay, so here's kind of like a blueprint. So if you have it at the trailer end there, you've got your bed at the top. Then you've got this boxed in area, and that's where the fridge will be. So like I said, if I lift the floor a little bit, I can have storage underneath there. And then this won't be as high, and if I need to, I can build a cupboard up on top of here with everything that I need, and just incorporate enough of a little bit of a seat in here somewhere for a bathroom. And I'll go through the bathroom idea with you after. And then just have a little tiny door. It doesn't need to be a big one, with a curtain on it. So then here the cupboard will run all the length there. Then I'll have another cupboard that will fit in about this much. That I already have, it's an antique piece. And then I'll build another cupboard that'll go all along the side to fill in. Because I think this cupboard here is maybe 3 feet long, maybe. So this length here would be a width of maybe 1.5 feet. Because like I said, I've got 6 feet wide. Then this is where that cupboard is. So this is where I'll put the stove on the top. I'll have a door here. And I'll have a door here. And then this little area here will be where my sink will be. So let's just... So this gives you an idea how the front part of the stove, where that cupboard's going to be. So the furnace will stay here. And then I'll be able to put all my wood in there. And I might even be able to fit some wood in behind it. I'm not sure. If this piece here where the cupboard is only 1.5 feet, I might just do it 1.5 feet wide. So it gives the whole flooring space a lot more room, and that gives Will some more room as well. And then I'll have this cupboard for storage as well. This is my stovepipe and my stove mount. Now when I was cleaning up today, this is what got me thinking about that hardware. Once I get the stove put in, then all this table will be free. So here's one of the little side shields. I have 2 of those for either side of the mount. Then I have, sorry, there's the other one. Then I have a big stainless steel side shield as well. This runs up the back part, and then this also is part of the mount. And then I have another piece that's like that. It's big, and that's what I'll be putting on the door. Now, of course, the stove pipe is also stainless steel. So that is what got me thinking about my hardware. So here's my idea. There's the wall. There's my lovely drawing. There is that drawer. So now my idea is right here is going to be where the door is. And that's where the side shield is going to be, which is stainless steel. This is an idea of the side shield. So this is the big door right there. And then the small door is right here. So the side shield is going to go here. That gaudy, big, huge piece of handle is going to go right here on the stainless steel side shield. And then I have some black wood stove tools, like you know how you have your pick and your little shovel and your broom. Well, it's on a little bar that you hook everything on. So I'm going to hook that whole stove tool system on that stainless steel thing as well, with the handle on top, just to give it a little bit of a kind of a pop or whatever. And I think because I'll have the stainless steel pipe, a stainless steel mount going around the stove, it will all incorporate this whole area a little bit better. It will just blend better. Now that little drawer that I have, which is again right there, I'm going to take those off and put them on the drawer instead. So that drawer will go underneath on the floor, because I only have like 6 inches on the floor before the stove starts. So those will also, now I'm not sure if I'm going to refinish it and then stain it. I think that will look a lot better, especially with the silver knobs. I'm not sure yet, but that's my whole new idea. And it's a lot less stuff in there from my other idea that I had. It'll just look a lot simple, and then I'll have my wood pieces that fit into the stove all chopped up and put in this drawer. And then this piece here is also a stainless steel side shield. So I think those pieces back there, this one and that one, they don't go very well. And what I'm going to do for this handle here, is incorporate a porcelain handle. I found one that's gray, black, and white. And then I'll show you in a second with this handle here, it's got to be moved up. When I had it on the floor, it looked fine, but then when I hung it, it looked like it was way too low. So I think I'm going to have to move it up probably by about maybe 4 inches, maybe level with that knob right there, so that it comes right straight across, and there's a knob right at the end, or right on the cupboard door. I think that will look a lot better. Now, going back over here, this piece here, that one there, as you can see, it's got a center hole. So I was able to drill it in. Those 2 pieces up there, those 2 porcelain knobs, they also had a center hole, so I was able to drill them in. because I can't access the back to the wall. Now, let's go back here. I'm going to show you. That knob there, I think, will look better there because it'll incorporate better with the stainless steel and the handle and the two knobs on the dresser. Those two up there will be better incorporated with the porcelain look on the back cupboard doors. And then I have a porcelain handle. So that's my idea. So I'm going to have to wood fill the holes, sand down that paint drip, and then repaint it. And then wood fill that hole, sand it down, and touch it up as well. So we're going backwards. Okay, so this is looking towards the front window. So right here is my cooler. And this is the dash where it has the little opening tray. And this is like the radio here, steering wheel seat. Now this is my seat, my co-pilot seat. So this is a really bad drawing, but say this is the cushion that I sit on, and this part here would be the front, looking at the front part of, so this would be right here, this would be the front part of the cushion. So this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to frame it out, build it up a little bit, frame it out. So I have in here is the base of the seat, and it's open, so it has a big space for storage. And then the floor underneath all this huge mess is also a big space for storage. So it's going to be wood here. It's going to be like a wood framed out area, and I'm going to stain it all in. Right there is going to be one of those wooden appliques that go on antique furniture. So it's just going to give it a really nice finished look. So it'll be all this here will be all wood and stained. Now, let's go back. Okay, this whole big mess right here. You got the two windows in the back. That whole table, bureau top is going to be cleared off. I have either a lantern or a light that's going to go on there, a smaller basket, and then I'll probably keep my Bluetooth speaker. So what I'm going to do with that whole thing there is I'm going to sand the top and stain it. So basically it's going to look like this. So this right here is that wall. So this is what the front of it's going to look like. The two windows here with the curtains on it. I'm also going to frame it out like that. So it'll be one board that goes right straight across and then two on either side. This is also going to be a wooden applique. And I showed you what it looks like in the last video. And then I'm going to have a curtain in here. And I also mentioned I'm going to wallpaper the inside. And the second notch there, not that top one, but the second one, is where the shelf is going to run along. And that's where I'm going to put all my big bulky hoodies and sweaters and miscellaneous stuff. And then at the very bottom, where that bag is, and you can see at the very end there, that's where the shelf will be. Underneath that shelf I've got bins that I can put like socks and a whole bunch of stuff in there. So that's my idea for there. Can't really see it, but it's got mud trucked in. And underneath him is nothing but leaves and grass. I've been brushing this poor boy every day. He's got one good coat, winter coat underneath there. But what I wanted to show you is he brings in all this leaves and hay. He's just covered. So he moves and I have to clean up that spot, and then he'll move again and I'll clean up more. And poor guy, but I think he's sulking because when he comes in twice a day, I'll give him his treats in the morning, and I brought him in, it's around 5, so I brought him in. I'll let him out again after supper there for a little pee and stuff. Like, see, it's all over him. But when he comes in, the second last time before nighttime, before sleep time, he gets a treat. And his treats are gone. I'm going to go out and get him some tomorrow. I got to go grocery shopping, but he has no more treats, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think he's sulking. Anyway, we'll see you guys soon. Take care.